Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has left on an official trip to Niamey, the Republic of Niger, to attend the African Union Summit on Industrialization and Economic Diversification. His media spokesman, Karuba Shehu, confirmed the president, while in Niamey, would also participate in the extraordinary session on African Continental Free Trade Area, the AFCFTA, as well as inaugurate the Muhammadu Buhari Boulevard, named after him by the government of the Republic of Niger. He revealed that the president would also deliver his national statement at the African Union Summit, after which the extraordinary session on AFCFTA is expected to adopt the Phase 2 protocols of the Continental Free Trade Area, as well as launch additional operational tools. The president is expected to return to the country on Friday. President Buhari unveiled the newly redesigned 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes yesterday, explaining that the decision to do so is aimed at curbing illicit financial flows, address corruption, improve the economy and the value of the Nigerian currency. Speaking after yesterday's launch before the commencement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting, President Buhari also appealed to Nigerians to embrace the new policy, just as he noted that the new Naira banknotes have been fortified with security features which make them difficult to counterfeit.
Nigeria Act of 2007 grants the Central Bank of Nigeria the power to issue and redesign the Naira. There was an urgent need to take control of currency in circulation and to address the hoarding of Naira banknotes outside the banking system, the shortage of clean and fit banknotes in circulation, and the increase in counterfeiting of high denomination Naira banknotes. It is on this basis that I gave my approval for the redesign of the 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira.
Correspondent Raliat Adenekon reports that earlier in his remarks, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, noted that more than 2.73 trillion Naira out of the 3.23 trillion Naira currency in circulation is outside the banking sector. Emefiele noted that with the new development, the Apex Bank aims to take control of money supply by mopping up all cash from the economy, both within the vaults of banks and in the hands of citizens.
The benefits of the currency redesign to Nigerian economy are enormous, given that this policy will help to control inflation, as the exercise will bring the hoarded currency back into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more effective. It will also help with better design and implementation of monetary policy, as we would have much more accurate data on money supply and our monetary aggregates. We believe that this exercise will help in increasing financial inclusion, moving towards a more cashless economy, and ensuring greater formalization of the Nigerian economy.
In other news, President Buhari has requested the Senate to confirm the appointment of a special advisor on social media, Lauretta Onochie, as the substantive chairman of the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, the NDDC. Buhari's letter, which was read at yesterday's plenary by President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, also named 14 others as members of the board.
I hereby present the unlisted 15 names of nominees as chairman and members of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, for confirmation by the Senate. Lauretta Ifanyi Onochie, chairman, Delta State, South-South. Dingba Erugba, state representative, Abia, Southeast. Dr. M.M. Wilcox Wills, state representative, Akwa Ibom, South-South. Elder Senator Dimaro Daniel Bofa, state representative, Bayelsa State, South-South. Honorable Orok Oduk, state representative, Cross River State, South-South.
President Buhari had in October 2020 nominated Onochie as National Commissioner of the INEC to represent Delta State, which was greeted with massive outrage from many opposition politicians and civil society groups, claiming she was too partisan to serve in a sensitive institution like the INEC. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill seeking to establish a National Commission for Almajiri Education and Out-of-School Children. The bill was passed for second reading about 24 hours after former President Olusegun Obasanjo warned that the over 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, which constitute almost 10% of global statistics, were potential terrorists. Obasanjo had issued the warning on Tuesday as a panelist at the two-day National Summit on Tertiary Education Reform, organized by the Office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, which ended on Wednesday. Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has declared that the federal government is recording successes in terms of convictions of corruption cases, with over 3,000 convictions within a year. Addressing journalists after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, Malami stated that the current administration has recovered about $1 billion from overseas, which has been deployed to various sectors of the economy, including poverty alleviation. According to Malami, the FEC approved a memo for the adoption of the anti-corruption strategy document for 2022 to 2026.
The yardstick is that we have succeeded of moving the convictions to the next level from the point of 109 convictions in over 10 years by previous administration to a point of over 3,000 convictions within a year by the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. And then if you are looking at it from other perspectives, for example, perspectives relating to the recovery of the looted assets, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari has succeeded in recovering around $1 billion from its inception to date.
The Justice Minister also expressed the government's concern over cases of budget padding, noting that every necessary measure would be explored to address it.
Indeed, the budget padding by the National Assembly in terms of perception is a disappointment. I agree with you that it is indeed a disappointment, and I share your sentiment that it needs to be addressed. The implication is the priorities of the federal government have been undermined arising from a budget padding. So from whatever perspectives, with whichever perception you have in mind, budget padding, as far as the development of the nation is concerned, is indeed a serious issue that has the capacity, just like corruption, to set our development back.
In his remarks, Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola said the council also approved the increase of the contract for the completion in the Kano Western Bypass.
We inherited this project, which had essentially not been funded in subsequent previous budget years. We are now executing it by the Sukuk. Council considered and approved the augmentation for 14.095 billion to revise the contract sum from 22 billion to 36.869 billion. Some of the items covered by the augmentation include the old amount of the VAT, the increase from 5 to 7%, the need to construct a flyover.
Fashola, however, explained that the completion of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is being delayed due to the construction of drainage systems along the highway by the Oyo State government. The U.S. mission in Nigeria has said current students in the U.S. on an F1 or academic J1 visa may be eligible to renew their student visa without an interview when they return to Nigeria over the winter break. The mission, in a statement made available on Wednesday, said to qualify for this procedure, such students must be physically in Nigeria, renewing a student visa that was still valid or had expired within the past 24 months, and the renewal should be either to continue participation in the same major course of study, even if at a different institution, or attend the same institution, even if in a different major course of study. It's noted that by scheduling a no-interview student visa renewal appointment, students will be able to drop off their passports at a DHL location in Lagos on a date and time scheduled using the consulate's online booking system. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has reassured Nigerians that polling unit level results will be uploaded in real time and the integrity of the process will be upheld. Speaking when he received a delegation of the Commonwealth pre-election mission at INEC headquarters in Abuja, Professor Yakubu said the commission will continue to deploy these technologies to ensure a free and fair elections. He further informed the delegation that the commission has gone far in improvement since the 2019 election, deploying technology inclusivity, particularly for persons living with disabilities, persons living with albinism, amongst others. Earlier, the leader of the delegation, Abiola Somuno, who is the advisor and head African section political team, said Nigeria is a very important and essential member country for the Commonwealth, and part of the reason for the visit is to understand and know what the framework and preparations for the general elections are. The Lagos State government has announced traffic diversion for the upcoming All Progressives Congress APC presidential and gubernatorial rallies scheduled to hold on Saturday, 26th of November at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Surulere from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Commissioner for Transportation Dr. Frederick Oladende, in a statement, had advised Lagos residents to plan their movement on Saturday around the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Funshaw Williams Avenue, and Alhaji Masha areas in Surulere. Oladende revealed that human and vehicular movement around the affected areas will be regulated, as there would be series of traffic diversions for safety and security management purposes. He said on Funshaw Williams Western Avenue, inward Lagos Island, will be diverted to the express lanes at Barracks bus stop for people going to Kotstain, Apapa, Ijora, Victoria Island, Lagos Island, and off to Olumegbon for people going to New Lagos and Surulere areas. While traffic on Funshaw Williams on Western Avenue inward Surulere, Ojuelegba will be diverted to the express lanes and the Stadium Bridge at Alaka bus stop for people going to Mushin, Palm Grove, Ikeja, Ojota, and Ikorodu areas. You're still listening to the World News. On a foreign scene, the statue of a controversial German colonial officer in Namibia's capital, Windhoek, has been taken down following pressure from activists. Kurt von Francois statue was erected in 1965 to celebrate him as the city's founder. Activists dismissed the claim as a lie and said he was a symbol of colonial oppression. Local artists performed rituals to reclaim the land where the statue stood before workers took it down. It is the latest statue to be removed in a worldwide campaign against symbols of the colonial era. 2 years ago in neighboring South Africa, a statue of British imperialist Cecil Rhodes was decapitated. The stepson of Malawi's ex-president Peter Mutharika has been arrested after 30 bodies were found in graves in the forest in October. The corpses were of boys and men believed to be Ethiopian migrants being trafficked to South Africa. Police said there was strong evidence linking Tatikira Mafubza to the graves, and a vehicle suspected to have been used to transport the group has also been impounded. In business news this morning, the Corporate Affairs Commission, the CAC, has unveiled an electronic filing system for financial statements by registered entities in continuation of its reform initiatives. The Registrar General of CAC, Alhaji Garuba Abubakar, said this at the unveiling of the platform to customers and stakeholders in Abuja on Wednesday, during the one-day enlightenment sensitization training on beneficial ownership, information disclosure, and annual return electronic filing system. Abubakar said the platform will be available from Monday, and the accounting software was coined from the extensible business reporting language standard in line with global best practices. He highlighted the reform initiatives of the Commission since his assumption of office, adding that the CAC would continue to leverage technology to offer prompt and efficient services. Finally, to sport news. In the World Cup matches yesterday, Spain demolished Costa Rica after a 7-goal thrashing in the evening in their Group E opener. Japan earlier in the afternoon stunned Germany with a late comeback in their World Cup opener with goals from Ritsu Doan and Takuma Asano, seeing them win 2-1 at the Khalifa International Stadium. Belgium labored to a 1-0 victory in the opening World Cup game as they were pushed all the way by Canada, while Croatia, runners-up 4 years ago, started their World Cup campaign with a goalless draw against a well-drilled Morocco at Al Bayt Stadium. Today's fixtures sees matches from Group G and H, where Switzerland face Cameroon, Brazil takes Serbia, Uruguay plays South Korea, while Portugal face Ghana.
Lagos Talks
91.3.